thought you were over him.
It was my first crush.
But I thought you were madly in love with Tuxedo Mask.
I am, but he's not interested in me.
Would you dial it down, okay?
You can't blame her. The only guy who's got the hots for her is the school dweebmeister Melvin the Cerebellum.
Moon Podcast Escalation! Hello there, my name is Jordan D. White.
My name is Chris Sims, and this is Sailor Business. It's the podcast where we and a friend watch every episode of the classic 1992 Sailor Moon anime to break it down and talk about why it is that we love this show so much. And we have, I'm going to go ahead and say, a top 5 episode today.
Wow.
Like, top 5 all time. This one
Well,
is...
you know, can I tell you a secret? That's kind of like you saying it's not very good, because usually you say every episode's your favorite episode.
Okay. Look, I'm trying. Look, I say every Scout's my favorite. I say, like, episode-wise, this one is so fun, so great. It will, if you're feeling down, this episode will cheer you right up.
That's true.
And to talk about it, I guess I should say, what is the title? It's Total Chaos: The Messy Love Rectangle,
AKA Too Many Girlfriends.
both solid titles. And to talk about it with us, we have a very, very good friend of mine, someone that I've known for a long time. Katie Donnelly is here. Katie, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Now, Katie, you are a cartoonist. You are an artist.
I am.
You have a new collection of your mini comics that is out just in time for con season.
Mm-hmm.
What's the title of the collection?
It's the Katie Monster Omnibus.
And that collects. There's a new story in that too. If everybody has your previous mini comics.
It's not a new story. I did a
Okay, sorry.
No, it's not am I allowed to say words on this?
Yes.
Like
yes,
swear
you can
words?
swear.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. No, because it's a Christmas version of my arithmetic book.
Oh, I thought you had I thought the other story was new. Like there was one in there that I don't have.
The Christmas arithmetic was never in print. So it's like another full mini, but I just never printed it because it was Christmas themed. And then I have a couple of like little 2-pagers that I did a while back and just put on Tumblr. But yeah, it's not like a new story.
Well,
that's coming later.
If you are heading to any conventions in the Southeast, definitely keep an eye out for Katie and pick up the Katie Monster Omnibus because P-Boat is a fantastic story. And if you enjoy this story, this show, you will enjoy P-Boat as well, which is a story of the lady with the prettiest butt of all time. So Katie, what is your history with Sailor Moon?
So Sailor Moon is basically the reason I am what I am today.
We get that a lot.
Hands down. Like, it's the reason I started drawing, and also it's the reason I have a career in computing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Now, did you think you would get like a cool blue visor that would just show up whenever you needed it?
No, I was kind of so I got really into Sailor Moon when I was in like 6th grade, and that was when I was still using my parents' computer in like a shared office. And I filled up this is how long ago this was, 4 gigs of their hard drive with Sailor Moon pictures. And they were like, no, this has to stop. And so they got me my own computer.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I mean, that's the thing. That is definitely a common thing as well. So much of Sailor Moon fandom was like, some of my earliest internet things was going on and looking for Sailor Moon stuff because Sailor Moon was, from across the world and you could get all this secret information, quote unquote secret information that the show didn't tell you by digging around online.
They're not cousins.
But also, like, most of the times I broke my computer, and that was a lot. And that is why I'm really good at troubleshooting today, was because I was trying to do something Sailor Moon related, like install a TV tuner so I could watch it on my computer, or do those stupid custom cursors with like the kaleidoscope moon rod that just totally tanked my computer.
So did you have a favorite Scout?
Yes. My favorite Scout is Jupiter.
Jupiter's a good one.
Yeah.
Jupiter's a really good one.
One in the top 5.
She's my most recent favorite.
Jupiter's great. Jupiter's terrific. As long as you don't say Mars, you're fine.
Look, Mars can be your favorite.
I'm just kidding.
It's fine if Mars is your favorite. We've had a lot of guests who Mars is their favorite.
I know.
Now, Katie, you have also drawn the Scouts quite a bit. I know you've done the Scouts at conventions. I know you've also just drawn them for fun because I am the kind of person where when my friends draw Sailor Moon, they will send them to me.
That means you've made good choices in life.
It does. I am surrounded by people who will draw Sailor Moon.
I never finished putting all my drawings of Sailor Moon up on my Tumblr. I should do that again sometime.
You did put you had some very unkind words for Chibiusa, for Rini.
Oh yeah, I put since the last episode I put up a screenshot because I still have on my computer. It's not on the internet anymore, but on my computer I still have my old Sailor Moon website. And it has the Rini hate shrine, and it's super embarrassing dumb. But I did put that up on my Tumblr, so you can.
Yeah, I went and looked at it. I looked at the screenshot, and I'm like, this does not sound like Jordan. This is not the Jordan I know.
It was pretty ridiculous. It was pretty ridiculous.
This Jordan is using a lot of language to describe a child.
A tiny child. But I was just too attached to Usagi or Serena at the time to allow her to not go yelled at.
So wait, do you still hate Chibiusa?
It's still in there, but not nearly as much. I mean, yes, when we get to those episodes and she's being mean to Usagi / Serena, just the way I'm still mad at Rei when she's mean to her, I will still be like, oh, what a jerk, and I will be mad at her. By the time I finished the whole series originally, all the way to the 200th episode, by then you like her. By then you're like, yeah, she's nice. They made up. She's her daughter.
So my thing was I hated her when I was younger, but I also have a little sister.
Oh, okay.
So she was like every horrible little sister trope that you can possibly have. And I was like, oh my God, she's the worst. Why does anybody need a little sister? This is terrible. And then watching it as an adult, I'm just like, oh, she's a little kid that has gone back in time and is scared out of her mind. So maybe give her a break.
Yeah.
So I have no hard feelings for her anymore.
You really need to keep in mind people's situations in this show.
You kind of do.
It is it was pointed out to us, I think by Karen Healy, that Mamoru isn't a terrible person. He's just weirdly attracted to this 14-year-old girl and doesn't know why, and is trying to push her away. Which Rei has no friends.
And with the 14-year-old thing, of course, does come up in this episode, which I look forward to talking about.
Oh, it does, and it's hilarious. It's my favorite part of the episode. No, I should say, someone actually pointed out that we don't usually talk about the new dub, even though I watched the new dub. I have the new DVDs and Blu-rays, which, by the way, those Blu-rays are kind of a ripoff. I'm not going to lie. They do not look that great.
That's a bummer.
But the voices in the new dub are really, really growing on me. And I say they're growing on me because I didn't initially like Luna, and that's about it. Luna has kind of grown on me. Everyone else is pretty top-notch. Jupiter, especially in this episode, this is definitely a chance for Sailor Jupiter to shine in every way. And the American voice actress for the new Viz Media dub is really, really great in this episode and in the next one as well. So I just wanted to point that out since we were asked to talk a little bit about the new dub that is available on the DVDs. I can highly recommend it.
Yeah, I still haven't. I watched 1 or 2 episodes of the new dub, but first of all, I didn't buy the DVDs yet, or the Blu-rays.
It's no longer the dub is no longer on Hulu either.
I know, yeah, so I can't anymore. But also, I love the old voices so much. I don't think I could ever really get used to them. I mean, every single one of them. And Andrew and his overly Canadian accent. Jupiter's Jupiter's Snowy from Tintin voice. All of the voices are just so great in the old one. I can't imagine myself falling in love with another set of voices. Although that's ridiculous because, again, in the old one, there's 3 different Serenas, and I'm fine with that. I get over it. So I'm probably wrong, but whatever.
Well, the one thing that really surprises me is that in the 92 dub, they made everybody really distinct. They gave everybody accents. Molly has her Brooklyn accent. Mm-hmm. Melvin has his nerd voice. Chad has his weird surfer voice.
Surfer dude voice.
Which fits because he's got the weird mullet and he looks like kind of a surfer dude, right? Mm-hmm. In the new dub, it's Umino who has the weird surfer voice, and Yuichiro, who is Chad, who will be spotlighted in next week's episode. Just like regular, plain, no accent voice, and it that kind of bothered me a little bit.
That is
because
weird.
you expect that guy to have a more distinctive voice just by looking at him.
Yeah.
But now we have officially had a subs versus dubs conversation, so that's exciting. That's the level we've fallen to.
Katie, do you have a preference?
So I really, really love the old dub voices.
Yeah, me too.
Like, even yesterday I was watching the sub, and like I still kind of hear them all in the old dub voices, especially Luna, because she always sounds so young now, and she doesn't sound like a cranky old British lady, and it's just not right.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that cranky old British Luna is definitely that is a preference we all have, I think.
Agreed.
All right, so let's dive into this episode. This is This is 29?
Episode 29.
Total Chaos, the messy love rectangle.
Too
And
many
folks-
girlfriends.
Folks, our heroine is Usagi Tsukino. She is 14 years old. She's a Cancer. Her blood type is O. And she's secretly the pretty guardian, Sailor Moon, who fights for love and justice. Now, she is currently looking for the rainbow crystals, because there are 7 rainbow crystals that will make up the legendary Silver Crystal. And there are 3 factions hunting for them. You have the Sailor Scouts, led by Sailor Moon. You have Tuxedo Mask, who's off doing his own thing. And of course, you have the Dark Kingdom, aka the Negaverse, aka the business plans.
The evil office.
The evil office, trying to hunt down...
Oh, no, I guess it would be the office, a Negaverse workplace. Or isn't that what it is?
So, fortunately for Sailor Moon, there are now 4 Sailor Scouts. We have Sailor Mars, who is the hot-headed psychic, Rei Hino. We have Sailor Mercury, the kind-hearted girl genius, Ami Mizuno. And we have Sailor Jupiter, the super awesome, super tough, 6'20" badass Makoto Kino, who throws lightning and does pro wrestling moves and knows kung fu. So, is kind of default the best.
Yeah, well, I would disagree on that. But, the fact that they've got the 4, all of a sudden all the girls laugh because it's going to be easy to get things done now. But can I tell you something, Chris? By jumping to that part, you've actually skipped one of the most ridiculous and awesome parts of the show, which is in the preview of the episode.
Oh, I didn't watch the preview for this one.
You
Please
didn't
tell
watch
me
the
what
preview? Sailor Moon says, and I quote, "Anyone who gets in the way of love deserves to be stomped into the ground by a horse." What?
I did watch that last night.
What?
Okay.
You say it's not your fault? I don't care.
True story. I watched that last night, and I was watching it with my girlfriend, and I started laughing. Like, that is such a specific threat.
So wonderful. If you stand in the way of love, you deserve to be stomped into the ground by a horse. I guess because love is
can we
like
agree on
riding
that?
horses.
Well, when you fall off that horse, you just have to get back on. Stomp someone in the ground for staying away.
And the
Katie,
fact-
thoughts on being
please.
stomped by a horse?
Well, all I can think of is that she's... This is going to sound so mean, but all I can think of is that she is referring to Makoto
Oh no! She's the horse?
because she's like big and tough and she'll like literally stomp you into the ground. But she's not a horse. But I don't know. That's all I can think of.
So you think
Especially-
you think she's referring to Makoto as a hoss?
I think I'm going to go with the idea that metaphorically being in love is like riding in a horse, and if you stand in the way of it, the horse of love will trample you.
I think she's being 100% literal.
There's actually
I do
a horse.
I do not think Usagi dabbles in metaphor.
Fair.
Like, everything we know about... What do we know about Usagi that leads you to believe she would construct a complex metaphor?
Good point.
If she says she wants you stomped into the ground by a horse, she is just thinking about things she would like to do.
And she doesn't care if it's not your fault. That's the other part that gets me, is that she's like, I'm sorry, you're trying to defend yourself? I don't care. Horse will stomp you.
So, we open in a rainstorm. And I should say, the animation in this episode is amazing. It's another one where everything is really cartoony in a really fun way. There's a lot of shots of kind of exaggerated faces. There's a lot of chibi scouts showing up. It's really, really delightful. It is raining, but the forecast said there was only a 10% chance of rain, which has cheesed off Makoto Kino to no end because she does not have her umbrella. So she is running through the rain using her school bag to shield herself from the rain, and she runs straight into someone, plows right into him, and then starts yelling yelling at him. And when he says sorry, she says, if sorry solved everything, we wouldn't need the police. Everyone is really harsh in this episode.
It's true. It's true. This is a snarky episode.
You have people who don't care if it's your fault, who want you to get trampled by a horse. You have people, rejecting apologies. But as she is yelling, she realizes that voice is the voice of an angel. It's the voice of Motoki, a.k.a. Andrew, who works at the game center. The beautiful, perfect man.
Okay, enough of your crush on Andrew.
He's so kind.
He's actually kinder in the American version of this show than he is of this episode than he is in the Japanese one. But we'll get to that, I guess, because now his voice is the voice also of Jupiter's former lover who broke her heart. He sounds exactly like him.
The Frankenstein who was assembled from parts of every boy.
But his voice box was Motoki's. So, of course, Jupiter is immediately in love with him. Makoto is immediately in love with him, doe-eyed, looking up at him, having fantasies about swirling around with him and things. And he has to snap her out of it and say, you're soaking wet. I'll walk you home. I'll bring you home with my umbrella. So they walk along. But then and they're talking about, so they're talking about how she's a really good cook.
Yeah, this is the part that I don't understand.
This is really weird.
Because, okay, best case scenario, Motoki is a high schooler with an after-school job, right?
Nope, not the
he's
truth.
Darian's age.
Yeah, he's with Darian.
He's there. Yeah, but
He's not with Darian. Oh, is he with Darian?
Okay, look, there is some clues to that later on in the episode.
Oh man, I'm shipping that real hard right now.
But in the manga, right?
In the manga, they're high school. In this is college.
In the anime, he's 46.
No. They're college age. So they're probably 19, 20. 18 at youngest.
He's an adult.
Yeah.
And he, the way that it's played out in the subtitles. I don't know how it is in the original American version.
The subtitles are great.
He's just oh, so you're a good cook. And she's like, yeah, I am a really good cook. He's like, oh, you should make me something. You should make me, you should make me dinner. And it's and I don't know if, because I don't speak the language, I don't know the tone. And because the new dub doesn't, really, just kind of, glosses over that. I can't tell if he's just kind of making small talk. Oh yeah, I'd like to try
I'll tell you what.
Sometime.
The food sometime part maybe, but the because I can actually see that somebody's a great cook. You go, oh, I'd love to taste your cooking, and so you might not say it. You should cook for me, but whatever. He said it that way, and that's fine. To me, it's even weirder when she goes, and I can clean your place, and he goes, great, that's awesome. Come on over.
Yeah, I get that. It makes sense to me because Makoto's 14. That she'd be like, yeah, I'll cook for you. I'll clean your house, whatever. I have a crush. Let's do this. But then he goes oh, you should make me dinner. Oh yeah, clean my place. That's awesome.
One of the reasons in the American version he doesn't. He's not even remotely this presumptuous. She's going, I'll cook you dinner sometime, and he's like, maybe he's like, I've heard you're a really good cook, and she's like, yeah, and he's like, I'm not a very good cook, and she goes, oh my god, I'll give you cooking lessons. Write down your address, and I'll be over your house later. So it's her pushing all these things on him, and him just being pleasant Canadian Andrew who can't say no to things like this. Which version did you watch, Katie?
Oh, I watched the sub last night, so it was very presumptuous.
Yeah, isn't that? Wasn't it when he said, "Yeah, great, you can clean my house"? I was like, "What?"
Yeah. Well, and I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt up to that point because I don't know, because you find out later in the episode he sees her as a little sister, and it seems encouraging. Oh, you have this hobby. Let me encourage you in doing it. And then nobody has cleaning a house as a hobby. That's no one.
Yeah.
So
it's super weird. And the weirdest thing about it is that she gives him a piece of paper and says to write down his address and phone number. And then she takes the paper and goes, oh, I see your favorite is Hayashi rice. Oh no. So he wrote down his address, phone number, and favorite food.
No, that's what she said. Did she not say that in the dub?
Did she say to write that down?
Yeah, she says write down your favorite foods as well, so that she can look up what she can cook for him.
Okay, I thought he was just yeah, here's my address, phone number, and this is what I would like.
This is what I'd like. Separate my colors and whites, and there's a washing machine around the corner.
Now, I don't think we have had in the past. We've had people who have a very in-depth knowledge of Japanese culture. Katie, do you have a knowledge of Japanese culture?
It's okay.
Okay, the reason I ask, not to put you on the spot, I just had to look up what hayashi rice was.
Oh yeah, I meant to do that and I didn't.
want to know. And it's basically beef stew.
Okay.
It is a Western-inspired dish that was thought to have been created by a French miner who came to Japan, and it is described in a recipe that I looked up as it's basically the Japanese equivalent of like mac and cheese for American kids. Like it would be a thing that kids like a lot, but that you can also kind of dress up and make fancy.
Okay.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever had it
Oh,
or like
definitely.
heard of it.
No, but that sounds pretty good.
I would love to have. There's a recipe here on that I found where I was reading about it, and I would really like to try it. It involves red wine. It involves a demi-glace.
So how did they
glace.
get the ingredients?
Look, it's cooking.
Oh, you can.
I know.
Like kids can buy booze for their parents over there. No one
Oh, wow.
cares.
Okay, there you go.
So if anyone
So
wants
that's
to
his-
make us, if anyone wants to
I don't-
make us hayashi rice and also clean my apartment, just
Write down your address, Chris. So that's his favorite. That's his favorite food. So she runs off, excited about this. Little does she realize, just around the corner is Motoki's girlfriend. She is a scientist. Her name is Reiko.
Reika, yeah.
She's a scientist. In the Japanese version, they mention that she is studying the origins of life. She's studying where life originated on Earth, which is why she wants to travel to Africa. In the American dub, she's studying bugs. She's a entomologist?
Okay.
Yes, she's going to Africa to study bugs. It's a super weird change to make. And in addition, in a few moments when they're at the cafe and they're talking about her, they have this conversation in the English one where Andrew goes, "I'll go to Africa with her." She's going to be going to Africa. "I'll go to Africa with her," and Darian's like, "She's going to study bugs. You hate bugs," and he's like, "I'll learn to like bugs for her." It's really weird that they just stuck that in there.
So we see Rika, and she is, just in case we don't get that she is a scientist, she is wearing a lab coat.
Mm-hmm.
What I think is interesting is that she has the same hair as Makoto.
Well,
Very similar hair, I should say. She's got the kind of brown wavy ponytail.
she wears it down instead of up.
Ponytail? I thought it was down.
Well, it's tied up, I guess.
You know what? I think later when she comes out not wearing her lab coat, she might have it hit down completely.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I think that might
Now she does not have a hot pink undercut though, which is a useful thing to remember for later in the episode.
Okay, good to know.
She razzes Motoki a little bit and says like, "Oh, that must be your new girlfriend that Memoru was telling me about," which means that Memoru is going to Motoki's girlfriend and being like, "Yeah, he's hanging out with all these girls that go to the arcade." Like,
No, he's probably making fun of Serena. He's probably going, "There's this total pathetic loser who's pining over Motoki all the time, and he's so nice to her and
there's
doesn't."
this total pile of trash
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
these trash friends.
No, her friends aren't trash, just her. In fact, one of them is worth dating apparently.
So they're talking, and they're about to have a really emotional moment, and then Memoru just rolls up in his purple pleated pants and his green jacket.
Yeah, this is his stock uniform.
He gives Reika a chance to leave, and she's like, "Hey, go have some tea with your friend," which it's like that's kind of weird, right? Like,
No.
like, okay, I gotta go have some tea with your
No,
friend.
because she's breaking a date. Because that's the thing. Her wearing the
I
lab
guess that's
coat.
true.
And Motoki goes, "Oh, I guess if you're wearing your coat, that means we're not going out like we're supposed to." And so that's sad. And so poor Motoki's like, "Oh, I'm lonely." And she's like, "He's just gonna mope. Darian, keep him company." And so they go
Go
to.
cry on.
Oh, please.
Oh, I was saying he could go cry on the shoulder of his handsome friend.
Oh man! And then like they get into a conversation, and Motoki's like, "Oh yeah, she's thinking about going to Africa to study with a professor overseas." And Memoru, and it's great in the new dub because he goes, "I don't care about her. What do you want?"
Wow.
Like, oh boy. Like we have thought for quite some time. There's a lot of Memoru, Motoki, and specifically Darian and Andrew subtext.
Yes.
Especially with Leanne that we talked about whether whether she intends to
novelizations,
put that in the novels or not. Like that Andrew's the only person with the key to to Mamoru's apartment, to Darian's apartment, and Darian's a former male model, and Motoki protects him, I guess Darian protects Andrew from getting beat up by punks. Like there's a lot of subtext there, and this little date that they have at Cafe Noel.
Yeah, Christmas Cafe. What is up with that?
It's amazing. I would go there every day.
Yeah, that's true. You would, of course.
It is delightful. That like these two, just the poses that they're in, like it's fantastic.
So this conversation is great because they're talking about whether or not she's going to go to Africa for this. She got a promotion. It means she's going to get to go study with the professor with this important Putihu, whatever, in Africa for a long time. So obviously this is distressing to poor Motoki. It's totally crazy because Mamoru just starts talking about the other girls like, well, okay, she'll go away and then there's these two other girls who have a crush on you, so you may end up, dating them or something. And he's like, no, they're young girls. What are you talking about? They're in middle school. I would never date them. That's crazy. And Mamoru's like, oh, right, I'm dating one of them.
Yeah, like Ray literally pops up in a thought bubble and goes, "Hi, it's me, Ray." Like, and again, this like the new dub in this part is like so good because Motoki is just like what? No, I'm not gonna date a middle schooler.
What kind of creep would do that?
Yeah, he's like he is so incredulous at the very idea of it.
So wait, does he not know about Mamoru and Ray?
I
guess not. Maybe he doesn't know Ray is in middle school.
Maybe.
I mean, I guess that's kind of the only way you can get around that.
Again, another part they changed that where I don't even remember how the topic of Ray comes up, but they're talking about Ray, and it's the other way around. Darian, is going, oh, me and Ray, yeah, like we're just pals. There's nothing going on there. The two of us who walk down the street arm in arm with her, like resting her head on my shoulder. There's nothing going on there. And then Andrew's like, I don't know. Ray tells me that you go to karate together. And then the Ray picture pops up, and she goes, I beat him all 3 times. It was like, what?
That's pretty great.
So weird.
The worst part of this conversation is when Motoki's like, oh, by the way, do you like Hayashi rice?
Right. And he goes, no.
Well, in the subs, he goes, no, not really. And in the dub, he goes, yeah, I guess. Which I think is it's a weird change. But if Hayashi rice is like a thing that is kind of as ubiquitous as mac and cheese, like I feel like that's a better choice for him to go like, yeah.
Okay.
But like that Motoki is like, so he's like, oh yeah, Makoto's gonna come over and make some for me. Why don't you come over? I'm sure it will be no trouble for her to double the recipe.
Well, it's not.
Like, come on, dude.
So wait. A question about you watching. Are you watching the sub? Are you watching the dub with the sub on?
I watch the dub to prepare for the show, and then I watch it with the subtitles while we record.
Oh, okay, right. Okay,
just to make sure that I'm keeping up with everything.
That makes sense. You keep us on track.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing that's important to note between the original American version. So you'll notice what we haven't seen so far this episode. Anything supernatural or Sailor Moonish at all.
Yes.
This is a wonderful middle school drama that we've been watching, and I love it. We're actually not going to see the Negamoon Kingdom until halfway through the show. But in the American version, that was not enough for them. So they put the first scene of the Negamoon before this cafe scene.
Now I'm curious about how that goes, because that is a really heavy Zoisite Malachite scene, right? Or Zoisite Kunzite scene. Which I guess again, when they changed
once they made her
a
woman, it doesn't. Once they make him a woman, it doesn't matter. They're fine with it.
I guess you can be as romantic as you want on American children's television.
It's almost exactly the same because we'll get to that scene in a minute, but it's almost exactly the same. It's just right after the girlfriend runs off and says, "You guys go have lunch." Then it cuts to them looking at her and going, "Oh, so she's the one with the crystal." Which in the Japanese we still haven't gotten to yet. It's not for even another couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's a long time. Like this is mainly just a middle school / college dating drama.
I mean, I checked. Point. It's literally halfway into the episode. You do like a whole 15 minutes, with commercials and everything. Like the whole like half the episode and before they even show up. And it's not like there's anything. The only thing that makes this anything but a high school drama is a talking cat.
So the next morning, Makoto shows up at Motoki's apartment, and he lets her in, and she sees that he is, he's a college dude with a very serious after-school job at the arcade, to which he wears a three-piece suit occasionally. Which, by the way, Motoki, not a t-shirts dude.
No.
Motoki is always like slacks, belt, collared shirt. He is business casual all the time.
Do they have T-shirts in Sailor Moon World?
I mean, Mamoru wears a t-shirt under his blazer.
I think that's a. You think that's a T-shirt? I think that's a full-length shirt. Anyway, what were you saying, Katie?
I always imagine that Motoki's clothes are hand-me-downs from Mamoru. Because, like, being a model, I think you get a lot of clothes. And so
sure.
I always just imagine that he was like, oh, this one's not my fave. You can have it, bud.
That actually makes a lot of sense because they are kind of the same clothes. And they are kind of the same person. like, yeah, you're my size.
So they share clothes, too. My goodness.
Yeah, they do.
So,
This is like my favorite new theory. I never thought about this until today, which is baffling. But now I'm like, yes. And I keep noticing that Motoki's hair is very similar to what a gender-swapped Usagi would be.
he really is.
So it's all coming together on this one.
Man, like, he has a type. Mamoru has a type. What can we say?
Yeah, and Ray's
Yes,
not it.
it is.
You should dump her.
I know.
Now, the weird thing about this to me is that this is not like a Saturday or Sunday morning. This is a school day. Where Makoto has gotten up early to come clean his apartment.
Was that her plan? Was that her? Because she's pretty shocked at how dirty it is. Was she there to clean, or do you think she was going to be like, I'm going to make you breakfast? But even that is super weird. So
I think she comes over to clean, and she doesn't think it's going to take more than a half hour. But then she has to put on her headband,
I wonder what it says.
according to the subtitles on the DVD, it says kamikaze.
Nice.
She is the divine wind coming through and cleaning his apartment. And she sees a picture of Motoki and Reiko. And so she kind of realizes that he has a girlfriend. And so when she gets to school, she's all bummed out. So she's sitting outside, leaning up against a tree. Usagi rolls around the tree, and she's like, hey, why are you so down? Somebody break your heart again? Which is such a mean thing to say. I get it, because Makoto is always talking about the boy who broke her heart.
Her response is even better, though.
Yeah, her response is the best thing in the world.
She gives her
face she makes.
Yeah, she gives her the evilest face in the world and goes, I hate it when you guess right the first time.
Oh, it's even better in the dub.
What? What do they say in the dub?
In the dub, Usagi's like, what happened? Somebody break your heart again? And Makoto goes, pick the wrong day to mess with me.
Whoa.
It's like, oh, shit.
That's the horse. The horse coming out.
Okay, wait, let me just step back for 1 second to the moment where Makoto learns that Motoki has a girlfriend, sorry. Here's what I would like to point out about that. He's embarrassed by this, which means because he's taking advantage of her and he knows it, right? Yep. Isn't that what that means? Like, that means he realizes, oh, she's figured out that I have a girlfriend. Now I feel bad for making her clean my house because of her crush, right? Mm-hmm. So he's a scumbag. There you go. How do you deal with that, Chris?
Listen, I'm sure he just didn't realize it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
The question is, what's worse? Is it actually being into 14-year-old girls and dating them? Or is it pretending to be into them so that they'll clean your house?
I think that Motoki is just reacting to the heartbreak that he's seeing. I think he's just like, he did not realize that Makoto was that crushing on him, that she would be so upset by finding out that he had a girlfriend. I think that's what has embarrassed him.
Oh, and
I don't think give him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't think he's embarrassed at all about getting this school child to come over and clean his house.
Well, he's not embarrassed enough to stop her from cooking later in the episode.
Yeah. Well, he's not embarrassed enough to stop her from cleaning right then.
That's true.
Like, he's just like, well, let me get a mop. I'll help.
No, see, because then he starts helping. So that's him. He feels bad. And let's not also not gloss over the awesome heartbreak effect of her flat on her back spinning on a weird spiral screen of devastation. They do that twice, once for her and once for Usagi in a moment, and it's so great. It's such a wonderful little thing.
I would honestly love to know. I really want to know who directed this episode, because it's one of the most visually engaging and just purely enjoyable episodes that we've seen.
So I never actually considered that there were different directors or teams working on these episodes until I started listening to you guys. So that has like blown my mind.
It's Harume Kosaka, who has done a bunch of the episodes we've seen. He did the losing weight episode. He did the clocks episode. He did the end of Jedi. Ooh, that was a bad one. He did the weird French doll Shingo one. He did some weird episodes. Wish Upon a Shooting Star, Naru's Pure Love, Total Chaos, The Messy Square Relationship, and that's all the ones we've seen so far. Oh, but the next one he did is the Silver Crystal episode, which is pretty amazing. Very random.
Yeah, like it's not what I would have expected, because like I've said before, you can tell certain episodes have at least, like, maybe not the same director, but the same team working on them just by the way that they draw the reactions. Like there is a team that does really, really cartoony reactions for all the girls, and there's another team that gives Luna gigantic ears. Like there are different kind of styles going on here, and this one's again very, very cartoony and really enjoyable. So at school, Makoto reveals that she has been crushed by Motoki, and Usagi bursts into tears because she likes Motoki.
And Makoto had no idea.
Yeah.
She's shocked by this revelation.
Well, and Makoto goes, "But I thought you liked Tuxedo Mask." And Usagi goes, "I like them both. They're all mine. They're all mine."
And she says you have to pick one.
Yeah, like they're both being like, and Luna pulls an amazing face because they are both being ridiculous at this point. And Luna's just like, "Oh my god, you need to stop, like both of you."
I have to say, though, this is a totally authentic 14-year-old girl conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guarantee you I had this exact conversation several times when I was younger.
Was it about the guy who ran the arcade?
I think it was probably about which of the Hanson brothers I was really into, but...
But did you have this next twist where Usagi stops crying and goes, "Wait, if Motoki broke her heart, it's because he has a girlfriend, and that girlfriend is me." And she goes, "No, it's not you. It's
And there's a really great shot of, because like Usagi is talking about herself, and there's a heart that appears behind her, and she is in the heart, and she turns around and winks, and it's a very like, and the Usagi in the heart is very like normal Usagi that we usually see, like she's correctly proportioned, and the Usagi in the real world is like all weird and
yes.
And very, very, very cartoony. So like it's these two I love the contrast of Usagi and Usagi's image of herself.
Well, but that's something that they did really well in this episode specifically, because even at the beginning, when Makoto's in the rain and she runs into Motoki, she's like this like vicious cartoony monster, and then she sees him and she's all star eyes and flower petals and stuff. Like they contrast them really well between the like romantic girls and the actual girls.
Yeah, it's really, really great.
One last thing from this scene in the English version, Luna goes, "Well, of course she's upset," referring to Serena. Like, she goes, "Of course she's upset. The only person who's got a crush on her is the school dweebmeister, Melvin the Cerebellum."
Luna says that?
Luna says that. So, yes, the only person who has a crush on her is the school dweebmeister, Melvin the Cerebellum. It's ridiculous. I was sitting there imagining this, like, actual British woman being said to say this and being like, really? All right.
Okay, first of all, go ahead, Katie.
I like to imagine that Luna's just from a different time and she thinks that's his full title.
School dweebmeister, eh? All right. Officially, school dweebmeister.
Because doesn't she have all of her Silver Millennium memories?
No, because she would know that she was the Moon Princess. It's totally unclear who remembers what and what in what capacity.
Yeah.
Luna knows more than them, but how much, I don't know.
No one would ever call him Melvin the Cerebellum.
No,
that is the part that I have the biggest problem with in that entire exchange.
Maybe he called himself that one time.
So
thought it was a compliment.
Makoto reveals that it is not Usagi. It is a completely different girl named Rika that he is in love with, and Usagi gets momentarily crushed. And then Makoto grabs her by the shoulder and says, "Don't worry, we can still win this. We just need to go on the attack." And there's a weird and they spin around and they get this weird stage spotlight, and it's like we're the Sailor Guardians, and without us, there's no tomorrow. So
wait, what did you see? Now I thought they said for Sailor Guardians there's no tomorrow, which I was like, that's a bad thing. What are you talking about?
No, they say without us there's no tomorrow, and then Luna says, "Why do I get the feeling that there's no tomorrow anyway?"
Okay.
Like, these children are going to cause the end of the world.
They're so
Oh
ridiculous.
no! Wait, in the subtitles it does say for Pretty Guardians, "There's no tomorrow."
Yeah,
You're
that's
right.
that's what I saw, and I was like, "That is so you are dying." I mean, I guess what they were going for was we have to go for it like there's no tomorrow.
They're living in the moment.
right? We need to live for today and take this boy from his girlfriend. But that's a weird way to say it.
They're like REO Speedwagon. They're living every moment. They're living every day.
Nice.
So they go to the arcade.
Hang on,
And,
can I say one more thing about that scene?
oh, please do.
Because one of my favorite things about this scene is that even though they're talking about Motoki the whole time, I don't think they ever actually show his face. Like, it is 100% about them. And I think that is one of the most telling things. And it made me really happy.
I just noticed that in a screen capture of the shot of them on the stage in the spotlight with the cityscape behind them, there's a electronic light thing saying their names on the top of a building. It says Usagi and Makoto. Their names are in lights because there's no tomorrow for them. What? Okay.
So they go to the game center and they're getting ready to go in, and they're gonna trade off attempts to win Motoki's heart. And so they agree that there's no hard feelings, but Usagi says they should do it in order of height, going from shortest to tallest. Which causes Makoto to plots and her foot, which again is my favorite thing. It happens on the show all the time. And then Memoru shows up, and in the subtitles, he refers to them as Bunhead and the Giant.
Yep.
Which is mean. In the dub, he calls them Bunhead and Bigfoot, which is cruel.
That's amazing. Well, it's not
mean.
like she's taller than him. Like, again, she's what, 5'9", 5'10"?
She's 5'7".
5'7", right. Right. So she's 2 inches shorter than me, and she's a giant.
Yeah. Like, come on, man.
Isn't he like 6'5" or something?
Surely not. Surely not. I mean, look, I have my copy of the Guardians of Order Sailor Moon role playing and resource book.
That will tell us
here.
how tall he is. Let's
I
look
can
it up.
look it up if we need to.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's see how
All
tall
right.
he is to be calling someone 5'7" a giant.
All right, let's see. Let's find out. Give me a second here.
No problem. I just I don't think this is right. I want justice.
Oh no, it's not right at all. It's totally mean. Let's see. There's a character size chart in which he is, a few inches taller than Sailor Jupiter.
I want the numbers, digits. Come on.
Okay, jeepers. Jeepers creepers, bro. I'm excited about you having to cut all of this out.
I'm not. It's staying in. It's
You
staying
believe in
in.
these long pauses?
Oh, well, the pauses, no. But all the parts where I'm berating you for not going fast enough.
Okay, here we go. Serious character.
And then you turn around and get on Memoru's case for berating other people.
No, really, that's him. I'm fine with Memorial.
All right. Look, I'm sure Memory will come to regret these statements. Sailor Moon is 4'11". Sailor Mercury is 5'2".
Oh.
Sailor Mars is 5'3". Sailor Jupiter 5'6" only in here. I thought she was 5'7".
What?
So 5'6".
5'7" with her ponytail.
Sailor
I am-
Venus is 5 feet even. Tuxedo Mask is 6'2".
6'2".
He is 8 inches taller than Makoto.
And she's a giant. All right.
Also, according to this, his birthday is August 3rd, 1974.
Yep, he is.
So in 1992, he would have been 18.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Favorite color? Black, of course. Favorite school subject? Physics. Least favorite school subject? None.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
You're lying. You're lying,
That's cool.
Darian Shields.
Just to round it out, Sailor Uranus is 5'8". Sailor Neptune is 5'4".
Whoa. Sailor Uranus is 2 inches taller than Sailor Jupiter?
That's what it says.
Holy crud.
I think
What were you going to say?
Sorry, I'm in the middle of a crisis because I always thought Sailor Jupiter was like way taller than me and she is my height.
It's just that all the other scouts are way tiny.
I know, and so now I'm trying to like adjust. This is changing my whole worldview, and my life has been a lie, and so I need you to just give me a minute.
Yeah, it turns out you could have been beating people up on the street as well, just like she does.
What do you mean could have been?
Oh, so then you're fine. You've been living the Jupiter life.
Yeah, pretty much. But like, What were you going to say, Chris?
I was just going to say, for the record, it does not list the heights of any of the villains, unfortunately.
We'll just have to eyeball him
Well, but like it makes sense that Uranus is bigger than Jupiter, like taller.
because she dresses as a guy all the time. I don't know.
No, she's just, I mean, that's who Jupiter looks up to. She's like her idol.
Yeah, I mean, like, I always
She
figured...
does? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She thinks she's like the coolest. Unless I'm misremembering or just wrong, which apparently can happen.
Now, I say this as someone who never actually watched any of those episodes because, you know, they never made it to Toonami when I was in high school. But, like, I always assumed that the outer Senshi were all older and you know, taller.
They're definitely
Except,
older.
well, with the exception of Sailor Saturn, of course, who is
Right,
a tiny child.
Right. The other ones are older, but I mean, they're not going to grow that much.
Well, you know, whatever.
I mean, Sailor
You
Moon
didn't
is not
grow
going to
from
get
middle
any
school?
taller, I don't think. Is she?
She could. She's only 14.
I guess so.
No, that's what happens in Crystal Tokyo is you don't age, but you just get progressively taller.
And thinner, like you become more like
Yeah.
the manga.
Yeah. Wait, Chris, does it tell you how tall Pluto is?
Yes. Hang on, I gotta go find it again.
Oh my gosh.
Our listeners are going to love this height section. Pulse pounding height action.
Well, look, we can tell them I have this book because we are eventually going to play this game.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to
Like
it.
that is something for everyone to look forward to. All right, let's see. Sailor Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Tuxedo Mask, Neptune. Sailor Saturn is 3'9". Sailor Pluto's 5'6".
What?
Same as Jupiter.
Oh my god.
And how about Chibi?
They don't list her. They don't list Chibiusa.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Well, unless she's after the villains, which would make you happy.
Yes.
Let's see, Prince Diamond. Oh, there she is. Rini, aka Chibiusa. No height listed for Chibiusa.
That's fine.
But, you know, I assume pretty small.
So, back to this scene. The giant and Bunhead.
Bunhead and Bigfoot.
Bunhead and
Together they
Bigfoot.
fight crime.
So they're obviously, again, they're there. And I also want to point out, they put on their most serious faces to do this before they go in. They were doing we're about to fight villain eyes we're going to go flirt with this guy.
I'm surprised that we don't get like an In the Name of the Moon.
That's true. It is
at
close. So Mamoru comes in and he starts making fun of them. Oh, what are you going to do? Go tell him that you're in love with him? You know, he's got a girlfriend. And he calls her Bunhead a bunch, and she's like, I don't care. And she falls over because he keeps calling her Bunhead. No, she actually yells at him and says, my name is Yusaki Tsukino, not Bunhead. And he goes, yeah, I know your name, Bunhead. She goes in, and instead of Motoki working, it's Motoki's day off. He's hanging out with his girlfriend. It's some weird hipster.
It's Dee Dee Ramone.
And so,
I am Maki Ramone. Welcome to the game, Senator.
and while she's in there discovering that, Mamoru's out there with Makoto, and he goes, you know, all right, what does he say? He's like, yeah, he's got a girlfriend. I mean, yeah, she's about to go away to Africa and everything. So, and Makoto freaks out and strangles him, causing his head to become enormous and blue, and is like, what? Tell me everything about this. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, which is great because he did call her Bigfoot, and now he is getting the consequences of that action.
Mm-hmm.
He is getting strangled on the street by a amazingly strong 5'6", 14-year-old.
And it is here, after this far into the episode, that we finally see something other than a talking cat that is in any way not just about teenagers in love. Finally, we cut to the Dark Kingdom, where they are learning that, as I said earlier, as I spoiled, Motoki's girlfriend has a rainbow crystal within her. I believe it is the blue one. We are up to the B in the Roy G. Bivs.
We're closing in on the end.
We are. And so Malachite, not named Malachite, Kunzite and Zoisite are there looking at this, and Kunzite goes, oh man, she's hot. Or something like that. What a beautiful creature. What a amazing creature. And Zoisite immediately goes, what? You told me I was the most beautiful thing in the world. How could you say that the person is prettier than me? And he's like, it's cool, baby. It's cool, baby. Here's a rose.
It's such a weird little scene.
It is so strange.
You say she's prettier than me?
It's so strange. And I don't know. Again, so yeah, when they do it in the American one, it's just him doing that to a woman rather than a man, and so they don't have to change anything. It happens exactly that same way.
No, I do like this though, because again, I have this theory that my weird little fan theory headcanon about the relationships in the Negaverse is that all the relationships in the Negaverse that we see are kind of inherently negative, right? Like, so when we see Kunzite and Zoisite together, like he's very like casually dismissive of Zoisite's feelings, like he's like, oh, look at her, she's hot, and Kunzite is Zoisite's very jealous and possessive, and those are all kind of negative relationship traits. And where that falls apart is that it is exactly the same way for the good guys. Like, the good guys are weird, like, are all jealous of each other and trying to break up happy relationships. So, okay.
What do you think, Katie?
Okay, so I always kind of felt like Kunzite wasn't into Zoisite at all.
Yeah.
And was just using that as a control tactic. And that they both, so what I was never is how much of their like actual personhood remained after they were brainwashed. But it kind of seems like they're just pretending, they're like watching the humans and pretending to do what they do.
Interesting. So, I mean, yeah, I would totally buy. I mean, we'll have to see how Kunzite / Malachite reacts when Zoisite dies. I can't quite rember how big of a reaction it gets. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Almost none.
Almost none? Well, then there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would buy that. I mean, he's not very nice. But none of them are. They're all jerks. They're the Negaverse.
So the next scene involves, speaking of being weird and jealous and possessive, Makoto goes to Reika's school, the Azabu Institute of Technology, which, technology, like where you study bugs and the origins of life. And so Reika comes out of school and there's a 14-year-old waiting for her that she has seen with her boyfriend going, and you didn't know if you're leaving the country. It's like, this is weird. And so, a child confronts a college student about her love choices in a very harsh way. It's super weird. And basically
really
what
confusing.
Happens is super confusing.
It's also really jerky because
totally.
she's actually there. Like, Jupiter's best case scenario, Jupiter's plan here is, cool, I'm going to go talk to this guy's girlfriend and convince her to leave the continent so that I can steal her boyfriend. Like, so I'm going to go and be like, are you going to leave the country? And she's going to be like, I don't know. And I'm going to be like, well, it's a really great opportunity for you. And I think you should. And you probably don't want any ties here at home. So probably just break off any relationships you've got. I know you don't really know me, but goodbye. Like that's what she's thinking will happen? Crazy.
Well, but like, even when she gets carried away, the thing that bothers me about this scene is that when she gets carried away, she's like, oh, you have to commit yourself to your studies or you have to commit yourself to love. But her whole thing is that she wants to be a Sailor Scout and she wants love. So yeah, it seems kind of out of character for her to say that. And you could think that she was just trying to break them up, but then she catches herself and is like, oh, I meant to break them up. So
yeah.
It's just so weird that she starts yelling at her
yes.
about, you can't chase after both of these things. You have to choose one and dedicate yourself. And Reika's just like nodding, like wide-eyed and terrified.
Yeah, this 14-year-old girl is really wise. This is the advice I needed.
So after that, there's a scene transition. It's a wipe shaped like a rabbit, which is adorable. And we get Usagi and Makoto the next day in super cute outfits. Mm-hmm, sure. Makoto she makes pleated pants work, which is amazing.
Very high-waisted pleated pants as well.
Literally dressed exactly like my grandmother.
Well, I mean, when you're 5'6" and basically a spaghetti person, you can wear whatever you want.
Usagi is in. She looks like she's going to ballet practice, but with white cowboy boots. And they have a bag of groceries, and they are going to cook for Motoki. And Usagi is just fantasizing about being in his apartment, which is represented in her fantasy by a background of rainbows and flowers. And in her fantasy, he's like, Usagi, welcome to my apartment. Will you be my bride?
That's right. Oh, because she looks so cute in an apron, is what he says.
And then she, in her fantasy, she's about to kiss Motoki, and then comes out of her fantasy, and she is about to kiss Makoto.
No.
And Makoto is like, what? Like, again, you should watch this episode. Even if you're the type of person who doesn't watch the show and only listens to our show, this is one that is well worth watching because the visuals are so fantastic.
It's true.
And Makoto is a little embarrassed by the kiss, by the almost kiss. And they end up heading to the apartment. Usagi is so impressed that it's so clean because she knows good guys keep a clean house, and which cheeses Makoto off. And then Usagi does, I think this is the weirdest thing in this episode.
Oh, let's hear it.
And we have seen so many weird behaviors in this episode, like Makoto going to Reika's school to tell her to go to Africa so she will be out of the picture. Like, that's weird, but that's weird in a way like that would never happen. This is weird in a way that I can see this happening, and it's that Usagi goes and picks up an unfinished cup of coffee and starts sniffing it to inhale Motoki's scent.
Yeah.
It is so weird.
The weirdest part of that, actually, is that it's not like if Motoki and Makoto were like, I'll show you this thing in the other room, and then she did that, it'd be like, okay, that's weird, but sure. She just does it in front of everybody. She just walks into his house. As far as we know, he's right there looking at her going, oh, okay, you've just picked up my cup and smelled it.
Yeah, like, it's really weird in a way that I think is like completely in character. Like, I have no trouble imagining Usagi doing this, you know? Like, it's just like a super, like, and that makes it even weirder. Like, I can completely buy it.
In the dub, they turned it into her going that this is the cup I bought him for Christmas or for his birthday or something. I wonder if he thinks of me when he's drinking from it. And then he goes, hey, that's my favorite. And she's like, oh, yeah. So that's sweet.
That's really sweet, but I liked it better the other way.
You like where she's just smelling his things? Yep.
Yeah.
So they go into the kitchen, and they Makoto's like, okay, you peel the carrots. And he's like,
Wait, you skipped the best part.
Oh, the best part.
Oh, what did I skip?
The best part when he is like, oh, Usagi, and she's like, I'm not emotionally ready.
Oh, right.
Thinking back to them getting married, and he's like, oh,
she thinks he's about to
you
propose.
Prepare for cooking. That I lost it at that part.
I forgot about that bit. Oh, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. In her defense, she did actually bring an apron, and it is pretty cute. So there you go.
So right, in the kitchen, Makoto's like, okay, peel the carrots. And he's like, I don't want to peel the carrots. She's like, okay, chop the onions. She's like, it makes me cry. And she's like, cook the rice. She's like, I don't know how to cook rice. And
it makes Makoto so mad that she crushes a carrot in her hand. A carrot explodes when she squeezes it from
an uncooked carrot.
a raw carrot.
And then she just bashes Usagi on top of the head.
Oh, that's pretty great.
So yeah.
So she goes about cooking the rice when Motoki gets a phone call, and they grow giant ears so that they can listen in on this conversation.
It's very 1992 because it is a phone call from a phone booth to a landline.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's a cord on the phone and everything, and it's of course it's his girlfriend, and she calls to say, I've decided what I'm doing, so come out and meet me. Was it in the I can't remember whether it was the sub or the dub, where she's like, I've decided what I'm gonna do. It's and then like he's like, what? I didn't hear what you said. And she's like, I've decided what I'm gonna do. Come out, I'll tell you. Which was that
Definitely in the sub.
It was in the sub? Okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty humorous, I thought. So he leaves and just kind of goes, sorry, girls. I've got to go meet my girlfriend. I know you're cooking us dinner and all, so cool, but I'm going. Bye. And just leaves these two middle school girls cooking in his apartment. Pretty classy.
Right. So then, and Luna, as the audience surrogate, has been watching this whole thing go down, and she's just like, I can't believe anything I am seeing. And then she notices that the moonstick is reacting to the presence of a rainbow crystal. So the two Sailor Scouts transform.
No, Luna tries to jump.
No. Luna flings herself at a glass door.
Yes.
That is important. Don't gloss over that.
Okay,
smacks into it. But you're right, they do transform. And what's funny is then we cut to Motoki and Reika being attacked by Zoisite. And again, in keeping with this episode's not really about that. Like
shit's just exploding.
yeah, they've already been fighting for a while. They're surrounded in fire. There's explosions. Zoisite is floating. That wasn't what it was about, so we didn't look at that. We were too busy watching them cook.
Motoki, again, Motoki's great. Motoki's so great. Like, Motoki tries to punch Zoisite in the face.
I thought that was very un-Motoki-like. I mean, it's like him to defend a woman, but like that his reaction was just like screaming and throwing a fist. Like it was much harsher than I expected him.
What is he going to do?
Pardon me, he would say.
Like, what is he supposed to, like, offer Zoisite encouragement while he plays a video game?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I'm sure we can work this out.
so-
What's this crystal you'd like?
Does he also try and throw a punch when Zoisite's a woman?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he fails, so they're fine with that.
Well, yeah, but I mean that seems. I can see him trying to punch a dude who's trying to mess with his girl. Like
Even a dude
he's
that pretty?
old-fashioned like that. I have very negative feelings about Zoisite and his supposed beauty, so I'm not going to answer that.
Oh.
Wait. Do you not? Maybe we should save this for next episode. Do you not think Zoisite is beautiful?
Why would
Have
we
you
save it
seen
for
how
next
sharp
episode?
his chin is?
Yeah.
Why would we save it for this
am-
next episode? Because this episode's already 4 hours long.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, go ahead.
then
No,
maybe we'll
please. Just let's do it. We're almost done.
No, I really don't think that Zoisite is beautiful at all. And because I'm a Kunzite person and like a Nephrite person. And they're all like, they have the long hair, but they have like the cut jaw lines. They're like manly guys. And Zoisite's just whiny.
That's true.
Also
Zoisite is
reminds me of an ex that I have.
Well, that'll do it.
Now,
Reminds me of this boy that broke my heart.
did your ex also fly and make things explode?
Lots of flower
Surprisingly,
petals.
yes.
Oh, okay.
It was a very dramatic relationship.
So the Sailor Scouts show up and they say the most amazing thing that has ever been said.
Let's hear it.
That will be the title of this episode.
Uh-oh. Let's hear it.
We're 10,000 volts of heartbreak power looking for boyfriends.
I should write that down. Oh, man.
So great. So great. 10,000 volts of heartbreak power looking for a boyfriend. But then we see the monster.
Right.
And I love this monster. Like, it's probably the, of the Rainbow Crystal monsters that we've seen, it is the least distinctive, right? Because, like, you know, Gamesen had the game parts, you know, had the crane arm. The one monster had all the math stuff. I forget what that one's name was. You know, the kid who had a crush on Amy.
Yeah.
Bakshi, obviously.
Boxing.
Obviously, the boxing angel. This monster, like, doesn't really have anything.
No theme to her look, but her...
She kind of does, but not if you think of Rick as an entomologist.
Well, definitely
she
not
has
as
the
an
like
entomologist.
she has like the armband and the earrings that are like vaguely tribal, and the monocle that I think of as like some dude in a safari in Africa with like a monocle.
Interesting. Because her attacks
So
are
I can
definitely
see-
science attacks.
Yeah, but I can see her as like a Africa interested, science themed person.
In a
That's-
black one-piece swimsuit.
Yeah, well, we should say she is a green-skinned supermodel.
Sure.
With a pink and yellow undercut, with her head fully shaved on the side, a strapless black swimsuit, gold armbands, thigh-high pink boots, and a monocle with like golden things dangling from it.
And here's the thing about monocle. If you're not watching the episode and you're picturing a monocle, you're not even close. It's a giant monocle.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's an enormous monocle. Because like a monocle, you like hold with your face. There's no way to hold this thing with her face. This is magic.
It's just kind of there. But like, she looks so cool.
Oh, it's a cool looking look.
Like, it's a really, really cool look. Like, and the weird thing is, like, it looks better now. Like, I'm sure it just looked weird in 1992, but like in 2015, it's like, yeah, this looks awesome. Like, it is a design that weirdly, I don't know if it holds up so much as like this is all stuff that is like cool now, you know?
So
she
what?
starts-
Oh, go ahead.
She responds to, we're 10,000 volts of heartbreak power looking for a boyfriend. She goes, girls without boyfriends? Pathetic.
So she still considers him her boyfriend? The monster is like, I got a boyfriend. He works at a game center, but he's going to be a surgeon. Is that what's going on? I guess so. So meanwhile, while the scouts are fighting, we should mention, while the scouts are fighting the monster, Zoisite has the crystal and is like, great, I've got the crystal. I'm going to be leaving any second now. I will leave, and then I will have the crystal, and I will have left. And I will be at home, where the crystal I will have. And then Tuxedo Mask knocks the crystal out of her hands and goes, I'm going to take the crystal. And so then they have to fight. So there's two fights going on at once. So back in the monster fight, the monster does the monster's first attack, which I don't understand what happens here. The monster throws parameciums at Sailor Moon. They like capsules of them, I guess, that like break at her feet, and parameciums come out and grow and start like holding her feet. And
By the way, the word that you are thinking of is paramecia.
I'm sorry, paramecia.
Sure.
I apologize. One-celled organisms, and so they're grabbing her feet. And again, I don't know what they're doing to her or in what capacity this is bad, but it's freaking her out. That's for sure. So then Jupiter
just kind of hanging on.
Yeah, they're just like touching her. I mean, listen, that's gross looking. I would be freaked
it's mega
out.
gross.
So Jupiter does Jupiter Thunder, and then they're just gone.
Well, Reika, what is Reika's monster name? Because
I actually don't know.
but it's something very much like Reika. But yeah, like she says when she does this attack with she's like, yeah, one-celled organisms are the origin of all life.
Oh, here it is. Riku Kedar. Riku Kedar. Rikou.
I just want you to try and read that word for an hour.
Fudge Sunday. No, I'm done.
Wait, can you type it in the chat?
Yes, absolutely.
Does she have a name in the American version, in the Deke dub?
Not that I heard. But the thing that I just looked up the name also says what the name means. So
okay.
I can actually explain it to you if you like.
Please do.
It is a pun on the Japanese term Rikou, which means intelligence.
Okay, so she's just a smart monster.
Smarty monster.
Smarty monster. Smarty pants. Smarty no pants.
Yeah, good point. And so...
but yeah, like, that kind of fits with her being like, studying the origins of life. Although I kind of assumed she was like more anthropologically than biologically. I thought she was, I didn't know she was getting into like the evolution of humans from one-celled organisms.
Yeah, no, that's what she's looking for.
But now in the 92 dub, did they just call those bugs when they come out?
What did they call
Because that would, like, you could, if you wanted to simplify it, like in the way that they always call rice balls donuts in anime when they dub it, like, you could, like, make the connection to her being an entomologist that way. If it's all just based on...
They might have said they were bugs.
The sexy
I can't remember what
science
they
of
were.
this sexy monster.
All I know is, I do know that, okay, well, like I said, the two things are, one is, first of all, Luna to that goes, what did she say? Talk about a one-celled
You've
brain.
got a one-celled brain.
About Sailor Moon. Great, thank you, Luna.
Why
that
would
helps.
she talk shit in the middle of a fight,
This is
though?
a very snarky episode. But also, like I said, when I found myself, even though I had literally watched the Japanese dub version less than an hour before, when I watched the dub, I saw those and I went, wait, how does she get out of this? Because the answer is they just go away. They just disappear. Jupiter does her attack, and the monster, by the way, responds with the best thing ever, which is Big Flask, which is my
She
favorite
pulls out
power.
a giant Erlenmeyer flask and
Big
like starts
flask.
blasting lightning out of it.
Catches lightning in it, and then she spanks the back of it, and it shoots lightning back out. Awesome. But for some reason, when that happens, the bugs or the paramecia just go away. So it's like, okay, I guess that was just not that good of an attack. The end. So you'll be shocked to learn how this ends.
Bubble spray, the most useful superpower.
Of course.
The great thing about it is that Mercury shows up, uses bubble spray, and then all the scouts kind of surround Reika, Monster Reika, Smarty Monster Reika. And Amy looks so pissed, and she goes, treat your test equipment with some respect.
I don't remember that. Oh, that's
so
amazing.
great. And Jupiter goes, stop wasting resources.
Oh my god.
Wait, are they referring to Reika's physical body as test equipment?
No, I think they mean
resources?
the flask.
the big flask.
Flask of the
Oh,
chemicals.
okay. That makes more sense.
And then Mars, again, as we have said, this is not an episode about fighting monsters. Mars just like goes, just take her out. Just do your finisher. Like, she so dismissively waving at her.
Moon
And
healing
Mars has done
activation.
nothing, by the way. No fire soul.
Oh, no, we don't get anything.
evil spirit be gone. No Rin Pyo Zai Zetsu Zen. None of that. Just Mars like, just take her out. Just do it.
So she gets healed and refreshed. And she's fine.
Yeah, she's good.
So, button on the episode, final scene.
Well, wait. We should say that there's...
Oh, right. No,
where
the Tuxedo Mask part.
Tuxedo Mask is fighting Zoocyte, and Zoocyte's like, you've won. I've lost. I'll give you the Rainbow Crystal. Tuxedo Mask is like, yeah, all right. And goes down to pick it up and gets the cherry blossom petals in the face. And then Zoocyte's like, you're an idiot. Peace out.
Why
Which is
does that
hilarious.
work? I don't understand.
Why does that work?
I don't even mean why does that work? Like, I mean everything about why does that work. He bends down to pick it up, and then she just has it. Either way, you know what I'm saying. Zoisite just has it, and it's like, wait, how did Zoisite get it? Why did the cherry blossoms? What happened? What occurred there? And in neither version does it seem to make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's bananas. It doesn't. It's and Tuxedo Mask is so happy when he goes to pick it up. He just looks smiling. He's like, oh, all right then. Everyone in this episode is an idiot. I love it.
Pretty epic. So then to the final scene in which even though Makoto gave her that amazing advice that you have to pick one thing or the other, and she nodded so understandingly, it turns out Reika did not choose one or the other. She's going to Africa and keeping her boyfriend. They're gonna write every day. They're gonna keep in touch. They're gonna hold on to love. And so they're at the airport, and the thing's going, flight to Tunisia is, yes, I put my hand over my mouth. Flight to Tunisia is leaving in a second. And so she's like, I gotta go. Guess what? Usagi and Makoto are also at the airport. Did they go, hey, we'll ride with you? Or are they stalking them? Or what? I don't know. But they're also at the airport watching this happen.
They know their way around the airport because this is, after all, where they put an end to Jedi.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I like that there is a plane in the background of the scene that is leaving the ground at a 45-degree angle directly outside the terminal, like super slow. Yes. It is giving me so much anxiety to watch.
It's so freaky. So Usagi's crying over the fact that, because it's so emotional of a scene, and then the girls go, but yay, now we can steal him. The end.
I mean, I'm pretty impressed that she got a direct flight from Tokyo to Nairobi, personally.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Oh, man. So that's that episode. That's the love rectangle. There were too many girlfriends in that episode. Too many girlfriends.
There wasn't. There was only one.
Oh, right.
There was only one girlfriend.
One too many for Usagi.
It wasn't even a messy love rectangle. It was a line that had two other points outside of it.
Looking longingly at the line. If only.
So I think we could learn a lot from that episode about life, about love, about sniffing coffee and making hayashi rice. But Jordan, do you have the Sailor Moon Says from this episode queued up?
Sure I do.
For Lita, it was really a blow finding out Andrew had a girlfriend. Life's full of blows, but the trick is knowing how to get over them.
Yeah, it really helped talking to my friends, but the best help can come from counselors or, believe it or not, your parents.
Talking always helps me, but lots of kids get depressed and clam up. They feel like there's no one who can possibly understand them. If you're feeling that way, please reach out for help. Don't try to solve it alone. Sailor Moon Says.
Okay, useful advice.
Life's full of blows, though.
Not really relevant to this episode.
Well, Lita was in a crippling depression for most of the episode. Did you not notice?
I did not notice that.
Oh, she kept it bottled up.
I guess so. I guess she kept it bottled up until it turned into lightning that she shot at a monster. I mean, look, that is very good advice.
Yes, that was a really nice message that is just generally good to know.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with hey, I mean, I would think the episode moral would be hey, don't try and break people up. That's a mean thing to do.
But nobody learned that lesson.
Nobody learned that lesson.
Nobody learned that at all. They are still trying to break them up.
So what did we learn from this episode? Now it's time for Sailor Business Says. And Katie, we will start with you. What did you learn from this episode of Sailor Moon?
I learned that if you want something, you take it.
Yeah, see, that's what this teaches you. There's no tomorrow.
All right. Fair enough. 10,000 volts of heartbreak power in the third chair this week. Jordan, what did you learn?
I learned how easy it is to catch lightning in a bottle. You just need a big bottle.
Big flask.
Big flask, and you catch it and spank lightning out at people.
I learned that if you truly want to know if you are romantically compatible with someone, if you truly want to really feel those feelings, just find a half-empty cup of coffee and just sniff it. Inhale that scent of your love. Because there's nothing that will inspire more romance than old coffee.
Chris, I know we don't normally disagree with each other's lessons, but you're misguided because she doesn't end up with that guy.
Yeah, but those feelings are still real.
Okay, that's true. Fair enough. You win.
And that brings us to the end of this episode. Like I said, really, really good one.
Lots of fun. So good.
So fun. And this is, for me, this is what the Sailor Moon animated series is all about. I like the manga, but as I've said before, the manga is my least favorite iteration of Sailor Moon, precisely because the anime has this. Like it has these episodes that, you know, they have a lot of character to them, and they're also just really fun. Like this episode barely has anything to do with the Dark Kingdom, with the ongoing plot. Just like there's a, you know, they show, like there's incidentally a rainbow crystal involved, and it's still like super, super fun. So I would say highly recommend this episode. Probably like more than anything else we've watched, just for the pure fun of it and seeing the characters come through. It's fun to get a spotlight on Jupiter. It's fun to get a spotlight on Jupiter interacting with Usagi.
Yep.
And kind of showing how much alike they are in a lot of ways. Like even though, you know, Jupiter's first appearance is about how different they are from each other, and this one's kind of about how similar they are and how they approach their problems. So that's really nice to see. Katie, thoughts on the episode?
I don't know. I don't know. I really like this episode, but I don't have anything like intelligent to say.
Aw. Anything from the heart?
What?
Talking about this episode with your parents or even a podcast could be really helpful for you.
Oh, you're making me very uncomfortable right now.
Sorry, Katie.
I'll tell you what.
I feel like this whole episode is really authentic to the like early teenage girl.
Mm-hmm.
And watching it originally, it all made complete sense to me. I was like, oh yeah, it's how they should be handling this. And looking back, it's just like funny because I'm just like, oh, yep, that's probably not right, but sure.
I mean, I definitely agree with you, Chris, that this is a great episode. And what I'll say about that, especially, like we said, it doesn't have Negamoon in it until halfway through. It barely has any of that plot at all. It's basically the exactly what you'd call a filler episode, because it doesn't. I mean, it furthers the plot, only the side plot that they've created, which is the Rainbow Crystal plot. But I love it. I mean, that's why we love these episodes, is because all these quote unquote filler episodes are the ones where we do get to just have fun with these characters in ways we don't have time for in the just the main episode. So it's great.
I fully agree. So that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you for listening. Next week, we will be watching Grandpa Loses Control, Ray in Danger. So please join us for that. Katie, you will be back with us again, and that will be awesome. I am super excited to have you. But before we go, Katie, where can everybody find you online and maybe see some of those mini comics?
I think the easiest place is just on Twitter at Katie Monster, Katie spelled with a C, and then I have links to everything from there.
Cool.
And Jordan?
I am on Twitter at Crackshot with a 0 for an O.